What's up, friends? Welcome into Rock Chalk Sports here at Kansas Nation with Dan Courtwright. I am Sean Kellerman. Elijah Schmidt running the operations today. We're talking World Baseball Classic. Bobby Witt Jr. and Team USA getting underway very shortly. We're going to be discussing that for the duration of the 2 hours of the show because we are not going to discuss some other things that took place in the world of sports.
You are not wearing any KU stuff.
This is just an accident.
In protest?
This is an accident.
You were, and granted, me too. I was not in a good mood last night, and I was not in a good mood this morning. We'll get into it, but man, you want to talk baseball classic? I'd be fine with just never mentioning this game
go up and down the rosters. I said to David last night in the postgame show, which by the way we did here at Kansas Nation. Shout out to Kansas Nation, amazing space, as good of a space there is to watch a game, literally in Lawrence.
Yes,
and we did nothing but lose here.
You're 0-5.
0-5.
Yeah, I've been here for 4 of them.
UCF, West Virginia, Arizona, Iowa State, and Arizona State. Kansas lost all 5 of them, which is a real bummer because, again, great place to watch a game.
Yeah.
KU's record away from where I'm watching it at Kansas Nation is very good, but yeah, KU loses to Arizona State last night, 70-60. Going to talk about that here in the opening segment. There's a lot of storylines from maybe the most bizarre game that I've seen as a KU fan. Maybe the worst half I've ever seen KU perform.
I think ever is probably I mean, there's no hyperbole.
Last year there were some bad halves, 60-30 against Baylor. I mean, second half,
you
the BYU game.
You had 18 with like a minute left, and you got 220. I mean, I've seen middle school girls basketball games with higher scores than that.
KU missed 16 of their last 17 shots after starting 7 for 21, which isn't exactly scorching. So, no, we're not feeling good right now. Next segment, we're going to hear from Trey White and Flory Badunga, who spoke for 2.5 minutes. I mean, we didn't get to hear from them for very long, but
no, we didn't.
Trey White and Flory Badunga spoke to the media ever so briefly. Yesterday after the game. I get it. It was a long trip. They need to get home. And Kansas, I think moving forward needs to be done with the 5-day. I mean, I don't know what the price difference is, and I don't have any say in that, and I know that the players don't have any say in that, but 2 trips these last 2 seasons, the Utah swing, the Arizona swing, Kansas loses both, and it kind of makes sense to me that you would struggle in these scenarios because what you're doing after losing the first game of this road swing is you're just waiting around for the next game. And you're waiting around, and maybe you do some other things, but you're not home. You're not in your space. You're not, with any of your people who aren't your teammates. And then the game starts, and all of a sudden it sinks in. We might lose.
Yeah.
And
when you got to practice in another, different gym and all that kind of stuff. And obviously there's the NCAA tournament and the Big 12 tournament thing, but with the extended period when you're going from Saturday to Tuesday, it makes it a little tougher.
It does, and again, it's kind of a mid-season trip that you otherwise would never take. And I know the Big 12 tries to do what they can in terms of, if you're going to play at Arizona, you're going to play at Arizona State. And ASU has benefited from that a lot. 5 of their 7 wins have been against teams coming off a game against Arizona. The Arizona hangover, because then they just stay in the state, go to ASU. And ASU is 7-10 now this season, and 5 of those 7 wins were against teams who had just played Arizona. So we'll hear from Trey White and Flory Badunga briefly, and then after that, Kansas women's basketball. The postseason is here, Dan. Yes. Woo! Kansas women's basketball.
I'm going tomorrow.
Getting underway tonight. 11 seed Kansas and 14 seed UCF.
I'm like shaking at how much I cannot wait to see that glass court. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like we kind of made fun of it a little bit at the beginning because they built it up so much. Like I thought this was going to be groundbreaking, and they're like, we got a glass court. I'm like, whatever. But I'm actually like really amped up.
It does look pretty cool.
It looks awesome.
The KU women realistically need to win some games in Kansas City. Again, 11 seed Kansas, 14 seed UCF. KU beat UCF in early January in Orlando. We're going to hear from Brandon Schneider, Jalea Davis, Samaya Nichols.
Correct.
All after we hear from the KU
They're all
players.
audio, not video.
So get some audio, but shout out to Doug Self over in Kansas City sending us some audio of those
one half of the law
players and Coach Brandon. KU Mailbag segment by the people for the people. Excited to see what people have to say after the game last night. Going to hear from the two-time national champion who has an additional year finishing as the AP #1 team, Bill Self. After that, didn't get to coach for very long last night. Just his second ejection in 23-plus years at Kansas. Probably the most ridiculous ejection I've ever seen. We'll talk about that. Shout out to Doug Sermons. And then we're going to talk KU baseball. We will hear from them as we just spoke to them a little bit earlier today. Bodie Ray, Jordan Bach, Dan Fitzgerald. Kansas 7-4, and they, of course, have their home opener tomorrow. 4-game set against St. Thomas, 3 in Lawrence. The Saturday game will be over in KCK because the Kansas men's basketball team will be taking over the parking lot and hosting K-State on Senior Day against the Wildcats Saturday at 1. And all you can do is beat K-State Saturday at 1. And then you hope for some success for KU because it was a disaster last night. 21-9 now is Kansas' record. 11-6 in Big 12 play. Jayhawks are going to tumble maybe to the 20th AP poll. Who knows where they're going to be ranked. But still an okay position in the Big 12. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Arizona State, they've lost 14 games. So Kansas has losses to Cincinnati and to Arizona State. ASU is 16-14. They're 7-10 in conference play now. Kansas needed to win this one for a lot of reasons. You had some other good things going on across college basketball that would have helped Kansas from the Big 12 tournament perspective regarding seeds, from the NCAA tournament perspective regarding seed line. And that's, what's got me most bothered is how Kansas probably drops the seed line after losing this game. Dan, we're going to get into this and go through the halves. KU had a couple comebacks. They had a chance, didn't have legs late. A terrible whistle, which was a problem the entire trip in Arizona. Bill Self, again, gets ejected. We'll get into that, and I'm talking in circles. But your reaction to this game, because we talk about officials, we talk about Kansas having some wherewithal and coming back, but they lose to Arizona State 70-60.
Embarrassing. I mean, that's the word that comes to mind. Absolutely embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. They all should be embarrassed. Kansas should be embarrassed. Doug Sermons should be embarrassed by the way that he handled everything, and whatever. He was overworked. It was his 9th game in 9 days. We'll get into that, but you said it. That was the worst first half I think I've ever seen a Kansas team play in my entire life. Flory B. Dunga was absolutely embarrassing out there in the first half. He winds up being okay in this game, right? He turned it on, had a couple of dunks, had some nice rebounds, but you talk about all the missed bunnies that he has up close, and Masamba Diop just did an excellent job of keeping him out, blocking his shots, boxing him out. Everything just went Arizona State's way on that. And look, shout out to Mo Odom, right? He was really good, a very good shooter. Obviously, it was senior night, so he was emotional. He was hitting a bunch of threes. He was the best player on the court by far and away. Masamba Diop was the second best player on the court by far and away. But the thing that sticks out to me is the lack of production on the offensive side of the ball, because we went into this game, Arizona State, they were ranked 90th in KenPom on the defensive end.
Can we just ping pong back and forth and just interrupt each other and do this a little bit differently? Because I'm not going to allow you to speak for 5 straight minutes, and you're not going to allow me to speak for 5 straight minutes, because there's too much bad that happened that we have to get off our chest. It starts with Diop banking in a 3 at the beginning. Such trash. He hits his first 2 threes. He had shot 16 all season.
I know.
And Masamba Diop gets Arizona State up 7-0. It's a bad start. Trey White hits a 3. The under 16 timeout, Kansas is down 9-3. But KU was 1 of 8 with 4 turnovers, and it didn't get any better. But that's what you're thinking is, surely that's the worst stretch Kansas can play. Mukeba goes baseline, and it's 11-3. Elmarco Jackson comes in, throws it away. Elmarco Jackson in this game, 4 minutes.
Dude, literally, like I wanted him I don't know why he was even playing after. The first like minute and a half that he was in the game, dreadful. Turned the ball over, drove and did absolutely nothing. He did nothing in that game, and I wanted him to sit on the bench. That was a bad performance by Elmarko, too. He's thrown up a couple of really bad performances.
4 minutes, 3 turnovers, plus he picked up a flagrant one. More on that in a little bit. Just a forgettable game for Elmarko. Coach Self had to call a timeout after that turnover. 14:26 to go. Kansas was now 1 of 9 with 5 turnovers. Kansas cuts it to 14-7 after a Bidunga dunk. But then when it's 15-7, Flory misses 2 free throws. Council goes transition and misses a layup. And at the under 12, it's 15-7. KU's 3 of 15 from the field. One of so many layups that Kansas missed in this game. And late they missed free throws, which is uncharacteristic. Yeah. The best free throw shooting team in the conference missed. But Kansas was missing a ton of layups. It was Flory, it was White, it was Council. And Kansas was really, really struggling. Jamari hits a baseline 3 after the under 12. It's 15-10. At this point, you're still thinking, okay, we're going to be fine because Kansas is playing terribly.
And we're going to have Bill Self on the sideline for the rest of the time, right?
Right, there is that. Saw some good things from Cole Rosario, which I liked. He forced a tie-up. He had a transition dunk from Peterson as DP had a great game in terms of getting others involved. That's a positive we continue to talk about. He looks way better. Did he have a perfect game? No. Is he hitting shots these last 2 weeks? Absolutely not. Nobody is. But we're seeing some things that he brings to the table. Again, Odom, who hit a lot of deep threes, hits a 3 to make it 21-14. It's 23-16 at the under 8 timeout in the first half. Again, shaping up to be a terrible half for Kansas, but you're only down by 7. KU was 7 of 26, 27% from the field, and Peterson was 0 of 5. Then we have the technical fouls, which are completely asinine in my opinion. Odom hits 3 of 4 free throws because Bill Self gets teed up twice. Coach said after the game that, again, this is just his second ejection in 23-plus years at KU. Said after the game that the first one must have been that he was out of the box. Okay, and Coach does a great job of, not trashing the officials, even when they're he is such a pro. Even when they make terrible calls out of the box. Yes, that's a rule. It's almost never called. You see that at Allen Fieldhouse all the time. Opposing coaches are out of the box. We got coaches on the court. Bruce Weber, 101.
Well, stand on the court. Bobby Hurley came out of the box whenever Elmarko had the flagrant, which wasn't a flagrant.
Of all the opposing coaches, to be on the other side when Bill Self gets thrown out of the game, it's Bobby Hurley, who's constantly throwing a fit.
Constantly.
On the other side. He's out of the coach box constantly.
Whenever Self got teed up and tossed, Bobby Hurley was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, I respected him.
He was like, this is insane. That was clearly not a foul on Darren. It was clearly a foul on Bryce Ford.
Yeah,
and then Self obviously is pissed off, and Doug Sermons, that buffoon, that dundering oaf, that absolute candlestick of a man. What a dumbass. Are you kidding me? Now, granted, again,
Thanks for listening, by the way, on ESPN, Kansas City.
I can say that. I don't care. Literally the worst, like, most favorite. Well, I don't even know how to say this. Like, you should not ever tee him up for that whatsoever. You know what you should do? Understand that you made the wrong call. Understand that Bill Self is going to be mad at you. You take your yelling at. That's what happens 99.9% of the times unless Doug Sermons is on the court.
And Doug Sermons has been officiating long enough to understand that's how it should work. You're not going to get every call perfect. Fans get that. Even fans understand that. You can't make matters worse by giving a technical foul.
Right.
And then, first of all, atrocious call, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I talked about the technical. I didn't mention the terrible call on Peterson, who constantly gets a bad whistle.
Always.
Constantly. The dude gets mugged anytime he's got the ball. Anytime he's off the ball, anytime he's on the ball, he gets completely mugged, and they don't call it. Okay. Peterson should be allowed, as players are, freedom of movement on the offensive side. And Bryce Ford did not give him freedom of movement. They call an offensive foul on Peterson.
Horrible.
Shout out to Nick Baugh, by the way, who called this.
Dude, he literally, like, his jersey was like poking up like this because Bryce Ford was like grabbing onto his jersey, and they called Darren for a foul.
They called Darren for a foul, so that led to the back-to-back technicals. And
I didn't hear what Nick Baugh said. What did he say?
Nick Baugh just said the freedom of movement thing. He said Peterson should be allowed to move.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Self gets the back-to-back technicals. The first, like I said, was because he was out of the box, which is, again, the most ridiculous thing ever. If you ever watch a college basketball game, how many warnings do those coaches get? One warning after another.
Yeah.
And then Self said he doesn't even realize, he said maybe not getting back quick enough was why he got the second technical. Also ridiculous. The quick trigger, and you saw Doug Sermon's hunting. You saw him trying to be sneaky, like
weaving through people to try
to find something that Self said.
Man.
Yeah,
he wanted to make it about himself.
Hey, let Chris Sinak think it's Chris Sinak time. You said that. I mean, that's the thing. It was Doug Sermon saying it's Doug Sermon's time, and that's the situation that got Bill Self tossed from the game. Utterly ridiculous. Meanwhile, KU can't score.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Peterson
it just was adding on to it.
Gets his second foul with 3:32. It was 32-18 Arizona State. Kansas had gone 6.5 minutes without a field goal. 35-18 Arizona State. It's a 17-point deficit for Kansas. Flory has the ball knocked away down low. He scoops it up, and he's able to score, and it's 35-20. Kansas gets to 20 points, but 5 free throws for Arizona State, which included an additional technical foul on the acting head coach, Jacques Vaughn, who
that was
had
insane.
1 technical foul in 6 years as an NBA head coach, and he gets teed up
Jacques Vaughn
in 6 game minutes.
By the way, did you see him trying to call a time? This is besides the point. This is later on in the game. Did you see him trying to call a timeout, and Doug Sermon's completely?
Yes. It wasn't Sermon's that time, but it was. I didn't see what official was. It wasn't Sermon's, but one of them. Yeah,
trying to call a timeout there, and then. And I'm sorry if I'm jumping ahead of you, but the flagrant foul on Marco Jackson.
And I'll get to that.
Should not have been a flagrant foul whatsoever. And it should have been a double dribble. Did you see that? He dribbled behind his back, grabbed the ball with 2 hands, and then dribbled again.
40-20 at half. The worst half I've probably seen, and the most bizarre half. Your coaches get a total of 3 technicals.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? And again, Kansas cannot score. KU shot 21%. They started 7 of 21, which is a bad 33% from the field, and then they went 1 for their last 17. They were 8 of 38 in the first half. Kansas also minus 17 free throws. Did you see that stat?
Yeah.
It was 15 of 19. 15 of 19 at the stripe for Arizona State. Kansas was 2 of 2. And if you go back to the second half against Arizona, 40 minutes of basketball, Kansas shot 4 free throws, and Kansas opponents shot 45.
Yeah.
I have never been one, I've said this on the show before, to complain about the Zebras at all. And I think that a foul is a foul. I don't think, like I said last week, that if one team shoots 20 free throws, the other team should shoot 20. I agree that there's going to be some variability on that.
Yeah,
there has to be, because teams don't play the same. But it wasn't like Kansas was sitting out on the perimeter like Texas Tech shooting 43 threes this game.
Yeah.
Peterson was getting absolutely mugged.
Well, that's the thing about Darren, though, is that like I feel like there's such a storyline around him and kind of around the way that he plays. And also he's so good at that NBA style of, getting guys to jump whenever he pump fakes and then leaning into him. And sure, you can call it foul baiting or whatever, but that is a skill, and he's so good at getting guys to draw the foul, right? Referees are understanding that, and they're pivoting the opposite way because they don't want to feel like they've been had by Darren Peterson because he's a foul baiter or whatever it is. So like you said, he gets a terrible whistle and he just gets mauled out there. They're throwing 2 guys on him. He's getting face guarded and getting grabbed underneath the jersey. He can't do anything about it.
No, it's insane. And again, I hope that he has an unbelievable run in the postseason because he hasn't shot it well. He hasn't caught any breaks. He really hasn't caught any breaks all season.
No.
He's been dealing with injuries. Now he's finally played 30-plus minutes, 4 straight games. Kansas is losing. He's missing his shots, and he's not getting any help from the officials, despite the fact that he's finally looking healthy.
It doesn't help in a game like that when he's completely getting demolished, right? where Melvin Council just does absolutely nothing.
Well,
where Elmarko does absolutely nothing.
Nobody, and we're not
Flory
defending Peterson's 3 of 18.
No.
We're not defending anybody having a bad game, and we'll talk about that. But
Bryson did nothing.
In that first half, Kansas had 12 offensive rebounds and inconceivably had 0 second chance points.
I don't get. They had 25 offensive rebounds in this game. That's the most since Akron in 2009.
Got 6
for a
second
KU
chance points.
team. 25 offensive rebounds. You get 6 points off that? Are you kidding me?
Second half, we'll go through the good part really quickly. Kansas did what Kansas does, and they had a little bit of a fight. It was all of a sudden 43-39. Peterson hit back-to-back threes. Again, he only hit 3 field goals. There was a Trey White 3, and Flory finally had some contributions. He had an and one to start the half, missed the free throw, but then he had a couple dunks. Melvin Council and Darren Peterson getting in transition with assists to Flory. And after the back-to-back Peterson threes I mentioned, it was 43-39. But again, Kansas couldn't get closer as they kind of were trading baskets a little bit. It was a very choppy game. You didn't have Bill Self. Peterson hit some free throws. Odom hit some free throws. There was the Elmarko stretch that really, really killed Kansas at 49-42. Elmarko came in, had a turnover, and then he had the flagrant. I agree, and maybe I missed something, but I agree that it should not have been a flagrant.
Yeah.
Maybe he pulled him down harder than I thought, but the fact that they were looking at this to be a potential flagrant 2 or whatever, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Things can look bad.
He fouled him. He was going for the ball.
Very clear. Like, if you watch it in full speed, there's no way that should have been a flag. Yeah, I mean, look, it's dangerous. Basketball's a dangerous game. Right? He was going for the ball. He got him on the arm on accident. There was nothing malicious about that whatsoever. And he landed on his butt or on his hip or whatever it was. It sucks. Guys get injured. Those things happen. But you don't fix it by making the wrong decision and making that a flagrant. It absolutely should not have been a flagrant call. And there should have been a double dribble. None of that would have happened if they would have seen him very clearly dribble, pick up the ball, and then dribble again.
Right.
None of that would have happened.
Hit 2 free throws after the first Elmarko turnover. So Kansas was within 7, but then Odom's free throws made it 51-42. Elmarko turnover again, Dan. Odom hits a 3, 54-42. We love the kid, but he had 3 turnovers in 4 minutes. I mean, just a terrible stretch to the Arizona
Elmarko
schools.
and Melvin were one and the same yesterday.
Well, I mean, everybody.
Melvin
we're gonna look at
more so in driving without a plan and just turning the ball over. Horrible. Just absolutely horrible. There was a couple of times Melvin drove in, just didn't know what to do with the ball, and just gave it to Arizona State. Elmarko does the exact same thing, drives without a plan, right? Melvin can make it work. Elmarko does not have a good track record of making it work, but just both those guys were throwing up just horrible stuff yesterday.
Kansas with 17 turnovers. Again, after getting down 54-42 after the bad Elmarko stretch, the Jayhawks would come back. Peterson forces a turnover and then has a dump off on the offensive side. It's 54-50 at the under 8 timeout. This is anybody's game, but Kansas can't score.
No.
They get a Council coast-to-coast bucket to cut it to 57-54, but before that, they had a missed free throw from Bryson Tiller, a missed front end from Bryson Tiller as well. There's 3 points that you could have had, and then before the under 4 timeout, Bryce Ford fouls out on a questionable call. I'll give him that. Council goes to the line, but he only hits 1 of 2. Kansas uncharacteristically missing free throws. It was 57-55. Pig Johnson, an end of clock 3 that seems to always kill Kansas, makes it 60-55. A Council turnover leads to a Johnson run out. It was 62-55 with 3 minutes to go, and then it was kind of
I saw that and
run
I
out
said
the clock.
Game over.
Kansas ends shooting 29% rather. They held Arizona State to 32%, but against a team in ASU that was near the bottom of the conference in field goal percentage defense, 3-point field goal percentage defense, Kansas shoots 29% from the field, 26% from 3. And as we talked about, KU, despite being plus 12 on the glass and getting 25 offensive rebounds, they only finagle 6 second chance points. Individuals got to be significantly better moving forward because this was probably the worst game from an individual standpoint. And one thing about this team, Daniel, is no matter what, they seem to kind of feed off each other. If they're playing well, everybody's playing well. If they're not playing well, nobody's playing well. I'm a baseball guy. It reminds me of the 14-15 Royals or even 13-16 to where, man, if everybody's hitting, keep the line moving, everybody's hitting. When they weren't hitting, nobody was hitting.
No.
That's how it was. And you weren't getting any base runners.
Yeah, I felt like everybody was in a slump yesterday.
This is how it looks right now for Kansas. Peterson scores 15. He's 3 of 18, 2 of 11 from the field. Council 7 on 3 of 11 shooting. He had 4 turnovers. Flory 14 and 13, but he has not been good from the field recently. Tiller had 3 and 5, but he had no defensive rebounds, and he was just 1 of 5 from the field. Trey White was just 6 of 17 from the field. McDowell was 1 of 4, just disastrous for Kansas offensively against a bad defensive team.
By the way, the only positive takeaway I'm taking out of this is Trey White did a good job of rebounding. He had 14 rebounds in this game, and I'm pretty sure he had 10 in the first half. That's all that it was.
I'll take a positive from Peterson getting 10 boards.
Sure.
From him having 4 assists. And DP also, if I'm not mistaken, had 5 steals.
I'm relatively certain this is the first time that I was, while you were talking, I was trying to find it. There was a stat somewhere, and I gotta find it, but it was something along the lines of like, this might have been, I think this is the first time in Bill Self era where Kansas has lost a game with a team that's shooting under 32%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that makes sense.
And
right?
29%, I'm curious. I haven't seen this, but I'm curious where 29% ranks in terms of KU offensively. I know we have a mailbag question a little bit later about KU being so bad offensively this past month. And, they got to figure it out. Some guys have to pick up other guys. But again, Peterson, yes, 3 of 18. Nobody could score. I mentioned, but just to say it again, Council 3 of 11, Tiller 1 of 5. White 6 of 17. Bidunga was 6 of 14, which is not particularly good for a big. A ton of missed bunnies. We had missed free throws. We had 17 turnovers. Yeah. And Kansas still had a shot to win this game. But as they did against Arizona, had that stretch where they just fell apart. Like they came back, but then fell apart toward the end of the game.
And that was the thing is like Arizona State, whenever they wound up beating Texas Tech, like they were beating Texas Tech, and then Texas Tech came on marching back, and Arizona State has had a number of different games this year where they've been up and they wound up collapsing in the very end.
They tried to give it away.
They absolutely tried. And you know what Kansas did? They handed that one away. It's just so unfortunate because you look at everything that happened around the world of college basketball yesterday, right? You look at Nebraska losing. You look at Texas Tech. They lost to TCU yesterday.
Alabama
lost yesterday. And in terms of, national bracket, that's good for Kansas to stay on the 3 line. In terms of the Big 12, Texas Tech losing to TCU, all of a sudden they gifted it to you, the 3 seed. They handed it to you on a silver platter. All you had to do was not lose and not completely and totally embarrass yourself in Tempe, and they did.
Kansas, realistically, once we collect ourselves a little bit, was only a small favorite. They were similar favorite to what they were at UCF at West Virginia, but this is a lot of games, and Kansas has struggled the past 3 years on the road. By Kansas standards, Kansas still under Bill Self has been significantly better on the road than any other team has been on the road since the inception of the Big 12. Like, it's not even close.
No.
But they haven't been winning as consistently on the road recently, and last night hopefully was, the worst of the worst. It was the final road game, and that's unfortunately how Kansas goes out. After the West Virginia, TCU, UCF stretch, where West Virginia was the most recent game, that was on January 10th, Bill Self said at the podium, "We suck right now." Okay, well, we're kind of in that same stretch. And thankfully, and if you want to take a positive, the biggest one you can take away, which, it's a bummer we have to put it this way, but it is what it is. It's not the last game. It's not a game that ends your season. It really hurts in terms of seeding, but it's not the last game. And there are some problems that this Kansas team has. There's a lot of work to do. I think it's very clear this team still has a high ceiling. I understand their success has mostly been at Allen Fieldhouse this year, but they have proven that 94 feet, they can compete, they can beat some of the best teams in the country. They just played terribly last night and didn't get a good whistle. Coach gets ejected. Acting head coach gets an additional technical. I've never seen anything like it. And the most important thing moving forward, and this is what I said leading the postgame locker room show last night, Dan, KU has to stay together. I mean, This was a disaster of a trip to Arizona. Just as last year we had the disaster of a trip to Utah. You have to stay together and realize that you're not winning the Big 12, but you still have goals in front of you. You still have the biggest goal of them all in front of you. A lot needs to change. Guys need to be more efficient. And guys are going to have to pick up their teammates, like I've said. Kansas did not have good individuals in 2008 Elite Eight against Davidson, but Sasha Khan poured in 13 off the bench and was 6 of 6 from the field. He was a bench player who came in and delivered when Kansas needed it, when they weren't getting great performances from other guys. Who's stepping up right now? Kansas is getting nothing from the bench, and like I said, just everybody, from a contagious standpoint, is doing what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
They're all playing poorly or they're all playing well. And now we're in this stretch where Kansas is 3-4 in their last 7 games that include losses to Cincinnati, a bubble team, and Arizona State, who's not even a bubble team right now. Tough losses for Kansas, more games to play, but a lot to work through moving forward. And for Kansas to get up to that 3 line in the NCAA tournament, which is important for things like playing close to home, there's some work to do because you've got 9 losses now. Other teams lost. They gave you an opening. You didn't take advantage last night. You got to clean K-State's clock on Saturday, and then you're going to go to Kansas City needing to do some damage to help yourself from a seeding perspective for the NCAA tournament.
100%. You got to win. I mean, duh, right? But right now you're staring down the barrel of a 4 seed, maybe even a 5 seed. Got to beat Iowa State. You got to beat Arizona. I mean, if this team that we saw yesterday rolls out there, we'll lose by 40.
We'll talk about this more.
The team has the talent, like you said, to be able to hang with anybody because they already beat Iowa State this year at home. They already beat Arizona this year at home. They had the talent to be able to do it. So you got to just pull your – and I don't want to sound like an old man or some like JV high school coach, but you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Stop complaining. It sucks right now. Of course it does. But look, you got K-State coming into town on Saturday. Beat the brakes off of them. And then wipe your memory clean, as I want to of this game. I want to wipe my memory clean of this game and forget it ever happened. You got to move forward with the guys that you got. Hopefully they start hitting shots. And you know what? March is unpredictable, so I'm not going to count them out just yet.
Yeah, it's a better path if you're able to get to the 3 line. It doesn't mean it guarantees success, just as if you're on the 4 line doesn't guarantee that you're going to struggle, lose to the 1 seed, lose to the 13 or the 5, whoever you face. Yeah. It's just a seed. It's still 5-on-5. It's just a seed, but there are important elements of getting up there. And again, Kansas is probably going to need at least one marquee win in the Big 12 tournament. You mentioned Iowa State. Right now, Kansas would be the 4, and their first game would be against the winner of Iowa State versus either ASU or OSU. But if Kansas wins Saturday and Texas Tech loses Saturday, Kansas gets the 3 seed. So you still get the 3 seed in the Big 12 tournament if that happens. It entails Tech losing at BYU, which is conceivable. And then Kansas' first game would be right now, if the season ends today, against TCU, a solid team. And that would be a potential nice win. But for the Jayhawks, whether you're the 3 seed or the 4 seed, it's going to be tough. I think you still want to try to get to that 3, which, again, now you're going to need help, just as you got last night. You're going to need more help because you don't want to face Iowa State in your first game and then have Arizona. I think you'd much rather face a TCU or Cincinnati type team and then Houston, who is not as strong as Arizona this season. So a lot to get to. We can talk more on that later if we want. But Bill Self saying that we're not talented enough offensively to not bring it, competing, playing with passion, some things that he brought up. Kansas has to do that because right now they're kind of hovering around 50 offensive efficiency, and defensive efficiency has dropped as well. So a lot of questions to be answered for KU, and it's March 4th, so it's go time. All you can do is beat K-State on Saturday and then hope you put together a good stretch in Kansas City. We're going to go to the podium after this, hear from Trey White and Flory Badunga post-game. Rock Chalk Sports, KansasNation.com, ESPN, Kansas City.
What's up, everybody? Dan Peterson. Everybody go check out KansasNation.com.
We have a great selection of vehicles here. What's the best fit for you?
Maybe something a little smaller. Maybe just a little bigger. Getting closer. Perfect. Come experience the Chrome difference.
Listen up, guys. Summer is coming, and there's no better time than right now to ignite your health and feel your best. Whether you're chasing peak performance, trying to reignite intimacy, or simply want to feel your best, Game Day Men's Health Lawrence is your calling. Situated in a plush man cave setting, their services for testosterone replacement therapy, ED, vitamin therapy, and weight loss are sure to give you the boost you need. Make an online appointment today by searching for Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Step up your game in 2026 with Game Day.
Together, we're elevating our potential, our pride, our traditions, and our dreams. Together, we're opening up a whole new world of possibilities. Elevate your University of Kansas experience with Jayhawk checking from Central Bank. Central Bank and KU, elevating together.
Hi there, Gary Joslin with Joslin's Jewelry. I'm not the class ring company. I'm a mom and pop jewelry store for 42 years. We were recently voted the gold medal #1 jewelry store in the greater Kansas City area by Ingram's Magazine. Come see us at Joslin's Jewelry, 9529 Antioch. Joslin's Jewelry, the jeweler you'll recommend to your friends and family.
Joslin's Jewelry, for the best that's yet to come.
This is SSJ. Winter in Kansas City doesn't mean your lawn takes a break. It means smart homeowners get a head start. Let David and his crew from Custom Lawn and Landscape prepare your yard for a greener, healthier spring with winter fertilization, soil conditioning, and pre-emergent treatments that stop weeds before they start. Because when the snow melts, you don't want to start fixing your lawn. You want to already be winning. Trust Custom Lawn and Landscape, treating your yard now so it looks incredible later. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your winter services today.
Hey, if you're looking for a new vehicle, check out Crown Automotive on South Iowa in Lawrence or crownautomotive.com. They've got a great selection, all sorts of vehicles. Camry is my personal favorite. I know that the Johnsons just bought some Tundra.
Yeah, they bought a Toyota Tundra over there at the old Johnson household. I absolutely love that truck, by the way.
Shout out to Keith, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Keith. Have you met? No, you haven't met them. But yeah, they just got a Tundra from Crown Automotive, but they have a whole number of new Volkswagens as well, Tiguans and Tauses, Jettas, if you will.
Tauses, is that the correct?
Taus.
We'll go with Tauses. Tauses, that sounds
yeah,
sounds
right. I believe that's the plural. Yeah. Or like tease, maybe it's like goose and geese.
Yeah.
There's a plural for Taus. It's a tease. I don't know. Anyway, check out Crown Automotive over in my neck of the woods. The best sales staff possible. Whole line of new Volkswagens and Toyotas and a lot of used cars as well. If those aren't your jam, they will make sure to get you in the car that fits your lifestyle. So check them out. CrownAutomotive.com, CrownMotorsVW.com.
KU loses to unranked Arizona State last night, 70-60 in Tempe. Final road game of the season does not go KU's way. Let's go to the podium post game. Hear from Trey White and Flory Bidunga.
5 offensive rebounds, but you only get 6 second chance points. Why was finishing off those possessions such a challenge tonight?
Say one more time.
Yeah, you end up with 25 offensive rebounds, but only get 6 second chance points out of it. I guess just why was finishing off those possessions so difficult?
I mean, I don't know. We tried to put the ball in the hole, but it didn't go in. I don't know what else to say.
Trey, I think at one point after Chris hard foul, you kind of had to be held back there. What was kind of happening and keep your advantage by at all?
I think the team thought that I was coming off the bench to go run over there, but I really ran to the corner, and then when I turned back around, seeing something happen, I didn't know, so I tried to just go run and help my teammates, and the coaches probably thought I was on the bench, so they just tried to make sure I didn't get attacked. That was all.
Is that what you're talking about with Coach Bland?
Yeah.
You came out there? Yeah. What did that first half feel like for you guys overall?
Really just come by a bucket. They were hitting everything. That's pretty much what it was. Like I say, every game we just got to play to our principles, rebound, play fast, and create for each other. You know, sometimes shots are going to fall, sometimes they're not, but we just got to play defense. And tonight, you know, they were hitting shots, and that's how the game went.
Yeah, I think you guys in recent weeks have kind of struggled offensively compared to that 8-game win streak. What are you seeing out there, and what do you think you guys can improve on?
I don't want to dig too much into it because I don't like to be too high or too low, but we definitely can learn from this. I would say starting off the games are key for us because we came back plenty times, but when you have that much of a deficit, it's kind of you got to be kind of perfect to complete that run. So, say starting off both halves are key for us.
Does it put a lot of pressure on you guys when you guys are down big and having to be almost perfect, like you said?
I wouldn't say pressure, but it definitely makes it a longer battle that we have to, fight and to try to be perfect, to get the lead.
For both of you guys, what was the immediate reaction when Bill got ejected?
Play harder, play for coach. We had to play against 10 to, play against the refs too. So just trying to play through that and do it for coach. So, we just had to stick together in the whole arena.
Floyd, what did you think of Jop? He scored the first 7 points and did a lot tonight.
Who that is?
Jop, the center.
I mean, yeah, put him in the back and make some shots. Nothing much, nothing, less. So.
One more. I guess what will it take for you guys to come back from this and start again Saturday?
Use it as fuel, add it to the fire. And just we know our goal. Our goal is still the same thing in mind. So this one definitely hurt, but we got another game in front of us. So it's on with this one, on to the next one. We got to play even more tougher for this next game.
Thanks, Foster.
Thanks.
That's KU players at the podium post-game last night's loss. If you want a thick, green, healthy lawn this spring, the work starts now. Our new friends over at Custom Lawn and Landscape will help you out. They can treat, protect, and prepare your yard before growing season hits. Growing season is coming up, and the winter service spots fill fast. Plus, you're running out of time. Now's the time to lock in your treatments and your spring lawn program. Book online today at customlawn.com or give them a call. Again, your best lawn starts here, customlawn.com. After this, we're talking a little Kansas women's basketball because you know what? March is here and postseason basketball is here for the women. They're in action tonight against UCF. We're going to hear from Samaya Nichols as well as Jalea Davis and Brandon Schneider. After this, KansasNation.com, ESPN, Kansas City.
Hey, what's up, Chuck Nation? Roby Dunga here. And make sure you check out the new KansasNation.com. Go Chuck.
We have a great selection of vehicles here. What's the best fit for you?
Maybe something a little smaller. Maybe just a little bigger. Getting closer. Perfect. Come experience the Chrome difference.
Together, we're elevating our potential, our pride, our traditions, and our dreams. Together, we're opening up a whole new world of possibilities. Elevate your University of Kansas experience with Jayhawk checking from Central Bank. Central Bank and KU, elevating together.
Haney and the Hawks is presented by Jefferson's with 2 Lawrence locations, home of the best wings in town. 21 signature sauces. You got to check them out. But if wings aren't your thing, how about a burger? They hand patty their certified Angus beef every single day. Also hand bread their tenders. They make their ranch in-house. There is truly something for everybody at Jefferson's. Go see my buddy Brandon Graham and the entire crew at Jefferson's, either on Mass or Wakarusa in Lawrence, Kansas.
Hi there, Gary Joslin with Joslin's Jewelry. I'm not the class ring company. I'm a mom and pop jewelry store for 42 years. We were recently voted the gold medal #1 jewelry store in the greater Kansas City area by Ingram's Magazine. Come see us at Joslin's Jewelry, 9529 Antioch. Joslin's Jewelry, the jeweler you'll recommend to your friends and family.
Joslin's Jewelry for the best that's yet to come.
This is SSJ. Winter in Kansas City doesn't mean your lawn takes a break. It means smart homeowners get a head start. Let David and his crew from Custom Lawn and Landscape prepare your yard for a greener, healthier spring with winter fertilization, soil conditioning, and pre-emergent treatments that stop weeds before they start. Because when the snow melts, you don't want to start fixing your lawn. You want to already be winning. Trust Custom Lawn and Landscape, treating your yard now so it looks incredible later. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your winter services today.
Welcome back to Rock Chalk Sports. Kansas women's basketball in action tonight. 11 seed Jayhawks against 14 seed Knights of UCF. A rematch of early January. Hawks won 83-68 in Orlando, but excited to get the action going at T-Mobile Center. First night, right? This is one of my favorite times of the year, of course, getting over to Kansas City. They do a great job. Big 12 does a first class job at putting on these tournaments. And Dan will be out there tonight to give you coverage of the Kansas women on kansasnation.com and on all of our socials at the Kansas Nation. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook is Kansas Nation as well. So stay up to date on all of that. Tell us about our friends over at Game Day Men's Health Lawrence.
I would love to. You know, there's a lot of game days coming up. There's a game day yesterday. There's a game day today for KU women's basketball. But at Game Day Men's Health, every day is game day. You like that? I just came up with that. I love
it. Well done.
That's pretty good,
Off
right?
the cuff.
Mitch Bales, you write that down. Let me know how you think about that one. But go check out Game Day Men's Health here in Lawrence, a plush man cave like setting. They got snacks and drinks and a friendly front office. That white coat phobia is no more. They're a fully fledged medical clinic. Your first visit 100% complimentary. If you don't have the energy to go to work, go to the gym, spend time with your family, go get yourselves checked out. Your health is so important. So be sure to go get yourself checked out for free. Your first one is completely complimentary. It's a 3-step process. They take your blood and they test all your levels. If you're good, then that's great. If not, they're going to do everything that they can to get you back in the game. It's common, guys. You know, 50% of men over the age of 40 deal with low testosterone, and 60% of men deal with erectile dysfunction at some point in their lives. If it's affecting you, it's probably affecting your partner too. So go get yourselves checked out at Game Day Men's Health here in Lawrence.
Jalea Davis and Samaya Nichols both earned all Big 12 recognition. We're going to hear from them shortly. But first, let's hear from the head man, Brandon Schneider, who met with the media yesterday. Here's audio. Thanks again to Doug Self of KU Media Information.
Does it feel like March? It's here.
Just when you found out Jalea got Big 12 Freshman of the Year, just what was your reaction? And also Samaya getting first team?
Well, I think being named Freshman of the Week 9 consecutive weeks, it was probably not a shock. But I think for both to be named first team All Big 12, I think it's an incredible honor. And you know, Jalea, obviously, with the kind of freshman campaign she has had, is probably, you know, up there with any freshman in the country in terms of being considered nationally.
Just, I mean, y'all brought in just so many highly recruited players, and these are two of the most highly recruited that you've had. Just, is this the kind of, obviously not the team success you want more, but just the individual success? Did you kind of envision that for them?
Well, I think both of them, you know, came in with, you know, tremendous upside. And I think if you're a freshman who is named an All Big 12 player, which Jalea was and Samaya was as well, I think it just demonstrates how quickly their growth was accelerated.
You emphasized to the team at all that kind of hovering around the NCAA tournament bubble, that you got some work to do here in Kansas City?
Yeah, I think in particular with not playing the way we wanted in Stillwater, you know, we've got to do a lot. You know, I think you know, we've really got to string together some really positive days.
It's still better to be in that type of position than maybe last year going in the tournament where the odds were a little bit more.
I think, and we were so banged up, you know, last year. You know, Elle Evans was out, and we were really came in here on fumes. But I think our team knows that they're going to play in the postseason. You know, obviously we're still striving for the NCAA tournament, and but again, we've really got to go play well on consecutive days.
What's been that prep like, kind of getting your team ready for that 4-day grind?
Well, I think, you know, we've got a 2-day prep going for you know, Central Florida, and then it's a lot of mental work. Fortunately, we've at least played everybody in the league, you know, once. So it's going to be important to you know, mentally really be in the right place and physically be fresh.
Watching back, what stood out from the first meeting with UCF?
Well, they had a guard that went nuts on us, and we ended up having to blitz her in a lot of situations in the second half. You know, I don't know if she'll play or not. She's been out with an injury, but their best post player didn't play in that game, so could be quite the flip. But they played really well in the first half, and fortunately we were able to string together some positive possessions and stretch it out a little bit.
Is there any advantage having already played a game at T-Mobile Center this year?
I hope so. That was our intent. You know, we're really replicating. We're staying in the same hotel. We're eating at the same place tonight. You know, we wanted to kind of have a dress rehearsal back in November for what we knew was going to be an important stretch.
There's been a lot of talk about the court, obviously the designs and things, but there's been a lot of talk about the benefits that it has on the athletes too. Have you seen the court? Have you heard about some of those things?
I'm going to be on it in about an hour, so looking forward to that. I think have to give the Big 12 a lot of credit for being on the cutting edge of you know, doing anything they can to promote the league in a positive way. And also, you know, monetize every situation possible with the state of college athletics. I think we all understand that.
How much do you expect Kansas fans to kind of show up? And they've really been rallying around this particular group this
Yeah,
season.
and I think with the Kansas City Metro flavor, you know, that we have on our team, I think, you know, they really came and supported us in the Mizzou game back in November, and even here last year, we got great support. So we're excited about the Jayhawks coming out to support this team.
Well, a lot of times coffee drinkers have those little sugar packets that say sugar in the raw. Well, today we're going to talk about emotions in the raw. We have had Kansas basketball lose to Arizona State, and this 24 hours is just getting worse for our Dan Courtwright.
Yeah, this is breaking news, upsetting news. This is just now happening, and I'm reading this email as we speak. This is from Royals Fans Got Talent. It says, thank you for auditioning for the 2026 Royals Fans Got Talent. We appreciate you taking your time from your day to come audition. For your patience while we have made our decision. We have had a very high volume of applicants this year, and unfortunately your performance has not been approved. We encourage you to reapply next year and hope to see you at Kauffman Stadium this season.
They're saying your performance is not good enough. That is not cool, man. That is not cool. I mean, this is literally live right now. Dan Courtwright got this email.
I just found this
rejection
out.
Email from the Royals. They better pay you mileage, man. You drove all the way out there and back.
I drove all the way out there. They were really excited. They applauded afterwards.
Yeah. Man, that's crushing.
I don't know. Maybe it's something. Maybe they just didn't like me. Maybe it's something about me.
Maybe it was like your personality or something.
See, what I'm thinking is like maybe some of the other. Maybe there's like a trumpet player who like paid them.
It could have been.
Like I bet you they're getting some cash under the table.
Wait a second.
I just cannot wrap my head around.
Is Doug Sermons officiating anywhere tonight, or is there a chance that he?
I think he had his fingers. He may have
had
his
a
pie.
say.
He might have had a say in this. Really unfortunate. Sean, you are, I guess, not going to be hearing me whistle. This is actually. I'm not even kidding. This ruined my day.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. After the game last night, man, yeah, that is a bummer.
See, like last night I was pissed. Now I'm really pissed.
Yeah, and now you're just crushed.
I'm like I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know if I can finish the show. This is like
I get it, man. Well, we are going to hear from Jalea Davis and Samaya Nichols. Jalea Davis and Samaya Nichols both named to the All Big 12 first team. Jalea Davis, Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Not surprising, she had 9 consecutive Big 12 Freshman of the Week honors, setting an all-time record. She's also named to the All-Freshman team, first team All Big 12, and this is 3 straight All Big 12 first-team selections for Samaya Nichols. Kansas has the talent. We've been talking about it. They need to put that talent on display and play well tonight against UCF. Let's hear from Jalea Davis, the Big 12 Freshman of the Year, yesterday in Kansas City.
Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Where were you when you found out? What was the reaction?
Well, I was actually at practice when I found out. So after practice, everybody was in the locker room and they all congratulated me. So it's a really cool experience.
What were the emotions? Just what does it mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot to me, just being able to celebrate that with my team. I mean, it's a team accomplishment.
Jalea, what are your memories of growing up in Kansas City and the Big 12 tournament being in Kansas City?
Yeah, I used to go to the Big 12 tournament like almost every year. I mean, I used to watch a lot of men's games, considering my dad, but I also came to some women's games as well.
Just how would you kind of encapsulate this whole season? I mean, having to fight through injury and everything.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was hard coming back from an injury, but kind of just making the most out of it, you know, just showing everybody what I can do.
It's kind of the mindset of the team heading into this tournament. I mean, hovering around the bubble maybe for the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think we all know that we have a chip on our shoulder, so we're all just ready to go in there and shock the world.
Have you seen the new court yet?
Yeah, I have seen it actually. The last court. Oh, yeah, that's going to be really cool to play on.
Did you guys get to play on it when you visited UCF a while ago?
I don't think we did, no, but I think it's going to be really cool to be able to do that.
Just with the team full of KC natives, just, I mean, obviously not that far from home. What's it like for y'all just to kind of be in this environment, just in where you are now?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, a lot of my family's going to be able to come to the games. I have a big support system that's going to be able to be there. So, I mean, it means a lot to me being from Kansas City.
You guys already played one game in T-Mobile earlier this year. Does that give any added benefit, any leg up on everyone else who hasn't played a game?
I mean, yeah, that's the goal. I mean, we got to shoot around. We got to play a whole game in here. So, I mean, it's kind of just, we got stayed in the same hotel, so it's kind of a routine.
Do you feel like this team could beat any team? I mean, you've been competitive with some of the top teams in this league this season.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our games are super close, so it's just a couple possessions that we need to just step up on.
Getting to share the first team honors with Samaya, what does that mean to you guys?
It means a lot. I mean, just being able to play with somebody who's so, she's a dynamic point guard, she can move the ball, shoot it, so just being able to play with somebody like that is really cool.
This is essentially going to be your first taste of March college basketball. What are some of your favorite memories of watching women's college basketball growing up in the month of March?
I think it's just really cool being able to see like the stars who come. I mean, just being able to watch all those people and just you can build a lot of things that you're gonna be able to like learn a lot from them. So,
what's been the game plan like? I mean, facing the team once again, obviously hard to beat a team twice. So, just what's it like?
Yeah, I think just being able to go out there and do the same thing we did last time. It worked well for us last game against UCF. So just being able to go out there and execute again.
Late tip: how do you kind of keep your mind ready, your body ready to kind of wait all day to finally take the court?
I mean, yeah, we play every single day, so at 8 p.m. So just being able to stay in the mindset and know that we're ready to be able to compete against anybody.
What's it been like? Has Coach talked to y'all about like that potential grind of playing full 4 days of just nonstop out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've talked about it, but we've been working out. We had a lot of intense practices in the beginning of the season, so just being able to use those as like kind of leverage against others who might not have done the same thing.
That's Jalea Davis, certainly deserving, and maybe the least surprising news across all of college basketball was Jalea Davis getting Big 12 Freshman of the Year. I mean, just totally cleaned up. Yeah. I mentioned 9 straight Big 12 Freshman of the Week honors to close out the season. Now we're going to hear from Samaya Nichols, who she's been honored, Dan.
Yeah.
3 straight years, all Big 12 first team, but Kansas has not had postseason success. Hopefully she balls out tonight and throughout this tournament. Jayhawks, kind of a fringe bubble team. They got to win tonight and then win win against Colorado, the 6th seed tomorrow for starters.
Yeah, and when you look at Samaya and when you look at Jalea, you go, okay, you obviously need good performances out of them, but in order to have any kind of postseason success, in order to have any kind of shot at making it to the NCAA tournament, you got to have more from your role players. Lily, Libby, Elle, Sanaya, all of them coming off the bench, whether they're starting, whatever it may be. You have 2 monsters on your squad, 2 all Big 12 caliber players in Jalea Davis and Samaya Nichols. You need to have more. But Sanaya, I'm fairly confident in saying that she's the head of the snake right now. Even though Jalea has been putting up insane numbers, it's still in terms of leadership, seniority, that kind of thing. It's Samaya, and it all starts with her. And she obviously is great with the media, and she hopefully, like you said, she balls out today.
Samaya Nichols met with the media in Kansas City yesterday, and here she is.
First team honors, sharing that with Jalea. What does that mean to you guys?
It means everything. I think that this season, I feel like I had a very tough season mentally, just with everything that went on, like off the court with like family and stuff. But I'm just proud of myself, and I'm extremely proud of Jalea and how we pushed through this season.
When she got the Freshman of the Year honors, I know you told me that you put it into writing a while ago. Reaction to that?
Yes, we were in Brandon's office this morning, and I just went over there, I was screaming at her, rubbing her head, like giving her hugs, like, because that's such a big deal. And again, she should be very proud of herself. She puts in all the work for it, and it's definitely earned.
Going into this tournament, team kind of hovering around the bubble a little bit for the NCAA tournament. So where are you guys at mentally heading into these games? Is it just one game at a time, or knowing that you guys got to win a couple games to give yourselves a better chance of making the field.
Yeah, definitely one game at a time. Everyone's determined. I've seen everybody put in extra work, just trying to enhance things and just be more confident in certain areas. And again, we've had practices that have been looking really, really good these past couple of days, and hopefully they just translate to the court.
Is there any advantage the team can take from already having played a game in T-Mobile Center earlier this year? You kind of know what it's like to shoot in that arena?
I mean, yeah, we know how the crowd's going to be, especially with us being in Kansas. And, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we played here when we played Mizzou. We are familiar with this hotel. We know the whole routine. Like, again, it's not going to be anything new. We just need to go out there and do the things that we do.
Just with this whole squad being just full of KC natives, I mean, what is that like just for, I mean, I'm sure y'all have known each other for years, but just coming together under this environment?
Yeah, again, it means a lot. You know, the people that supported you while you were in high school there now have the opportunity to just come up the street and see you play on a really big stage. And it's so funny because it's like we all have such big families, so we're like, hey, like, you have any tickets? You have any tickets? And we're like, I'm using all mine too. So, again, it's a blessing.
Being the school that's closest geographically here, do you guys feel like you have any type of home court advantage, and just how confident are you in the fans showing up?
We're very confident in our fans, and we're super excited to see everybody who comes out and supports us. Do I feel like we have a home court advantage? Maybe when it comes to fan base, but again, Big 12 is such a hard conference to play in that everyone's going to come and put their best foot forward. We just have to be ready for that.
Just for you and Jalea to have these accolades, for y'all to be so highly recruited and stay close to home, just what does that mean for y'all? Have y'all talked about just the fact that y'all are staying close to home and doing all these things at Kansas?
No, honestly, we never really talk about it. I just know that we know that it's an internal feeling to it, and we know deep down how much it means to us, like individually, and then to those who are just in our community that we grew up in as well.
You seen the court?
I have not yet, but I've seen
the
so
videos?
many videos.
What,
Yes.
what are your thoughts from seeing the videos, I guess?
I'm excited. It's very different. I don't see a conference done that yet. Hopefully I'm not wrong. But I think that's one thing that sets Big 12 apart from just other conferences, just them being different. I mean, they do say different leagues, so I think they're living up to that standard. But I'm excited. Hopefully it's not slick.
Just what's been the preparation like, just preparing for that potential 4-day grind over the
Yes.
tournament?
4 days, which is heavy mostly on the physical aspect and the mental. The past couple of days I've just been dialing really deep into my treatments and just keeping my body right, eating very clean as much as I can, and mentally just freeing my mind and really just enjoying the game.
That's Samaya Nichols. Kansas women's basketball tonight against UCF. It had to be you, UCF. It sure seems like it's always UCF. And it seems like Kansas on the men's side and the women's side always plays the late game as the Hawks take on the Knights tonight on the women's side. 8 o'clock ESPN Plus, or you can listen to Stephen Davis and David Lawrence.
I got to go to that game. Today is
action.
Today is Piper's birthday.
That's right. I should text her.
Still have to go to this game.
Wow. Maybe I'll get her an all expenses paid trip to the softball diamond this spring.
That'd be nice. I think she would really like that.
Yeah. Is Ashton doing anything for her?
She might. I think she's going to be living with us for another 3 months. I know that she.
So the gift of her presence is probably enough.
Yes, exactly. But so I think. Let me continue to work on that. We're putting together Slopish Softball
put a
League.
pin on it, yeah.
If you know anybody, or if you want to play Slopish softball, if you know any females who want to play Slopish softball, because that's what we need right now.
No, we're 4-4. We're 4-4. Assuming Piper and Ashton are in.
Right. So if Piper and Ashton aren't in, then there could be an issue.
Yeah, but obviously we're not worried about that. Anyway, the Kansas women 18-12, tied for 11th, like I said, at 8-10 in conference play, and the UCF Knights, they are the 14 seed. UCF again, not a top-tier team. Kansas should go out and win. We've said that a lot. Hawks got to beat them and then beat the 6 seed Colorado tomorrow. But it's happening. There's a game every day. Dan Courtwright will be out there giving you coverage. KansasNation.com.
And Caden Lecce.
Caden Lecce, shout out. Man, shout out to the Kansas J School.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
J-School Jayhawks.
Aspiring journalists. J-School Jayhawks, right? Oh, my God. Great
What
stuff.
happened to that?
Hey, after this KU Mailbag segment, we're going to take questions and comments from you guys. Appreciate everybody who has reached out to us on Twitter at the Kansas Nation. That's next. Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City, and KansasNation.com.
Miles Schneer's Crown Automotive, founding partner of Kansas Nation. Visit them at crownautomotive.com. Experience the Crown difference. Carfax top-rated dealer, Crown Automotive.
We have a great selection of vehicles here. What's the best fit for you?
Maybe something a little smaller. Maybe just a little bigger. Getting closer. Perfect. Come experience the Crown difference.
Listen up, guys. Summer is coming, and there's no better time than right now to ignite your health and feel your best. Whether you're chasing peak performance, trying to reignite intimacy, or simply want to feel your best, Game Day Men's Health Lawrence is your calling. Situated in a plush man cave setting, their services for testosterone replacement therapy, ED, vitamin therapy, and weight loss are sure to give you the boost you need. Make an online appointment today by searching for Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Step up your game in 2026 with Game Day.
Hello, it's Mark Whitlow from Office Products Alliance. OPA is not just your local office products connection. We have expanded our offerings to network cabling installation, security cameras, door access, and IT services. We all need to keep pace with new technologies. You can trust a Kansas City company that has been your partner for 32 years. Check us out at opakc.com. Supporting local businesses and our community is more important than ever.
Together, we're elevating our potential, our pride, our traditions, and our dreams. Together, we're opening up a whole new world of possibilities. Elevate your University of Kansas experience with Jayhawk checking from Central Bank. Central Bank and KU, elevating together.
Got some great mailbag questions for you in our KU Mailbag segment, highlighted by one regarding the Chiefs from Kimberly. Really appreciate that. There's a certain energy that comes with Jayhawk basketball, the crowd rising together, the band playing, and that unmistakable moment when fans lift their arms and wave the wheat. It's a tradition that represents pride, unity, and Jayhawk spirit that comes when the Jayhawks win games, the waving of the wheat. Hopefully that happens tonight at T-Mobile with the Kansas women. With Jayhawk checking from Central Bank, that tradition doesn't stop when the game ends. Jayhawk fans can carry their pride wherever they go with the official Jayhawk debit card, a simple way to show school spirit every day. Central Bank is proud to support the traditions and communities that bring people together, and as the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, Central Bank is committed to serving Jayhawk fans with banking options designed for real life, on campus, at work, and everywhere in between. So, if you are ready to wave the wheat beyond the stands, learn more about Jayhawk Checking and the exclusive debit card at jayhawkchecking.com. That's jayhawkchecking.com. Central Bank, the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, member FDIC. KU Mailbag segment. Let's get it going, Daniel.
Yes, Colin. That's one of my buddies. He just texted me. He said, "What the hell?"
That makes sense.
Yeah, he didn't say.
I can only imagine. It was either Whistlegate or related to a basketball game that took place in the desert last night.
And he actually followed it up and he said, "That's my whole question." He said, "What was that? Like, what the hell was that yesterday?"
Do you think you weren't like? What's the word I'm looking for? Were you not standing and I keep wanting to say proclaim. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Were you not proclaiming enough when you were at your audition? Is that what's going on? I mean, I have to assume that's
was I not? Yeah. No. I think I came in there with a relatively chipper attitude.
Okay.
Again, like when I walked in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're the Whistler," and they were like all excited about it. Yeah,
proclaiming is not the word that
it's not the word that you're looking for, probably. But yeah, no, that one hurt, man. That hurts.
Yeah. I get it, Colin, man. We're still kind of in shambles as well.
Yeah, about the whistling.
And the fact that the email came during the show today is particularly
that hurts
brutal.
Even worse, man. That is like I don't even have time to like mourn.
Yeah.
I guess is probably the right word. Mourn it.
Yeah, mourn. Yeah.
I'm certainly mourning right now. But that's a good question, Colin. What the hell? Yeah, what the hell happened yesterday? Beats me. I mean,
okay,
you got the offensive rebounds. You didn't get the second chance points. So you had a lot of turnovers. You could not put the ball in the rim. You had Flory Badunga got absolutely embarrassed in the first half by Musamba Diop. You had Melvin Council doing nothing. You had Marco Jackson doing nothing. Trey White really kind of the only bright spot in that game whatsoever. And even he had some really bad, he had some not great turnovers. He had some not great decisions. Darren was just getting pummeled. The referees were horrible. It was a very bizarre game.
It was as bizarre a game as I've seen when you look at 3 technical fouls, including an ejection for our coaching staff.
Yeah.
Kansas, like you said, getting 6 second chance points on 25 offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Plus, no one could make a shot. And again, it goes back to, and this isn't the best breakdown of all breakdowns, no one could score. Nobody was playing well.
No.
And we know that this isn't who Kansas is, but the positive side, KU has more games to play, and we know that this group of guys can play a lot better than that. I think a lot of group of guys can play better than that. That just wasn't a good performance. At the same time, Dan, Kansas is 21-9. Last year was no fun, and Kansas ended 23-11.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go 1-1 in each of the next 2 tournaments and you beat K-State, then you're, 24-11. So not a great record compared to what we're used to. And you don't know that that'll be the case. And we're not going to rule out a run for Kansas. They've proven, like we talked about, that they can go on one. I certainly would like Kansas to win on Saturday and Texas Tech to lose on Saturday, because then I feel like you have a much better shot, particularly not having to face Iowa State in the first game and all their fans that come down to Kansas City. And like we said, the Big 12's got to be begging for that as well. Kansas could, knock off a TCU or whoever's a 6 seed, and then you could beat Houston. We have to wait and see if Kansas is the 4 seed, which again would entail Texas Tech beating BYU. KU plays at 11:30 next Thursday in the 4-5 game. You assuming the 5 seed Iowa State wins their first game on Wednesday. If Kansas is the 3 seed, you play the late game, 8:30 against, if it ended right now, TCU, but still some moving pieces on that front. So, yeah, Colin, it was a bad game. We thought the Cincinnati game was the stinker, but this kind of redefined stinker for what happened last night.
Yeah, no kidding. Chris, he has a stat and then a question to follow up the stat. So the stat is, since the start of February, Kansas ranks 30th in Bart Torvik. KU basketball has the 135th ranked offense and the 8th ranked defense. And this is on Bart Torvik. So Bart Torvik is different than Ken Pom. It's a 9-game sample size. Is similar. It's a 9-game sample size, so half of conference play. 135th ranked offense, 8th ranked defense. Chris asks, should this stat encourage us as a glass half full thing? In other words, isn't it more likely that we finally find ourselves hitting outside shots and stop missing bunnies during postseason play than it is to suddenly start improving by virtue of playing better defense?
If you want to talk about law of averages, I'm your guy. Yes, I think that the shots are going to start falling for Kansas. Man, it's been a tough 3.5 weeks, however long it's been. Kansas, I may have misspoke earlier. I said they were 20th defensive efficiency. They're 20th overall right now in Ken Pom, which, Dan, KU was 19th in the preseason AP poll.
Yeah.
Kansas is 9th in defensive efficiency, so still a top 10 team. That gives you hope, but as Bill Self talked about, you got to play with passion, you got to play turned up, and on the offensive side, down to 53. Very similar numbers to what KU was last year, and again, Torvik, slightly different from Kempom, but appreciate that nugget from Chris.
Yes.
135, that's not good enough. You're going to have to find ways to score.
It's not.
What's the answer? Do you feed Flory more? I mean, aside from making more shots.
I mean, I said it. I mean, he was getting embarrassed, and over these last 2 games were the most embarrassing performances that I've seen out of Flory Badunga.
He's just missed so many bunnies. I mean, that's a big part of it.
And that's the thing. It's like, it's not that the fact that he's getting outmanned, which he is, by the way, against worse players, but he's also just missing these easy, stupid buckets, and you cannot do that, right? Flory has got to be better. He's got to make those bunnies, got to make his layups, got to make those dunks, got to find some kind of post move where you can get to the rim and get underneath, get over a guy, whatever that may be. I think it starts with Flory. I think it absolutely starts with Flory. If you get Flory dominant early, all of a sudden you're going to have people start crashing, and then you're going to get more open looks on the outside. Now you got to hit those open looks too. And like you said, law of averages. Right?
I like what I've seen from Peterson. Again, not just the scoring. He's scored some. He's missed a ton of shots like we talked about, but 10 rebounds. He had 4 assists and 5 steals. That's more like it. That's going to play moving forward. The shots are going to start falling. Not every game is going to be the disaster that happened last night. KU Najee says, if you could have retained one of the guys who left in the portal this past offseason, who would you keep and why?
That's a good question.
So you're looking at Zach Clements, AJ Storr, Rylan Griffin, Diggy Coit.
Rakis Passmore.
Well, Rakis is hurt, but
no, I know.
Yeah,
but he's one of the guys who left. Would you count Zeke Mayo because he technically entered the portal just to try to get another? Okay, all right, fine. Who would I keep? I mean, who's playing the best right now? Probably Diggy.
He's scoring the most. You know what's frustrating to me?
But I don't.
And I just pulled this up.
Diggy.
Like, guys, this is kind of an example of the bad luck KU has had in the portal. Rylan Griffin at Alabama 2 years ago, he shot 45% from the field, 39% from three, 81% from free throws.
Yep.
This year, Rylan Griffin with Texas A&M, 46% from the field, 41% from three.
That's good.
82% from free throw. The year he was at Kansas, Rylan Griffin shot 37% from the field, 33% from three, and 67% from free throw. I mean, a lot of that is just bad luck. He was missing shots, right? It's unfortunate. And Griffin's having an okay season. He's averaging 11 points a game. And I'm not going to necessarily answer this question, but kind of unfortunate the bad luck that Kansas has had. And a lot of that is the pressure of playing with the Kansas jersey on.
I would say, you know what? I would say, I think Rakis would have been a really good, like, obviously he's hurt right now, but like, let's just imagine that he wouldn't have gotten hurt.
Yeah.
I think he would have been a really nice piece on this team. I think Rakis Passmore would have been a very, very solid piece. Now, if you were to go back a few years, the right answer is Zuby Ejiofor, without a question, right? Yeah. You look at what he's doing with St. John's right now. He's fantastic. I mean, you could not let that guy go. I don't know. I think, you know, it's hard to say with Rakis because of the injury and because of what he's dealing with right now out of Maryland. I think he would probably fit better. But I think as of right now, in terms of who all is produced, probably Rylan Griffin.
Cole says, can you do a breakdown of what sunglasses are cool versus what middle-aged divorced dad sunglasses? I can't keep up. Great question, Cole. Always count on you for these hard hitters. Dude, I'm all about Gooder, the Gooder brand.
So,
Gooder, if you want to advertise on Kansas Nation,
have you noticed that the smaller sunglasses are coming back in style?
Are they?
Yes. So, like, it used to be like big, wide rimmed, and like the smaller ones were always for like dads, you know. But those are coming back into style, and you're seeing like college kids and like different people wear like smaller rimmed, smaller, you know, lensed glasses.
Yeah.
So I think those are coming back in style, and I almost think like divorced dad sunglasses right off the bat. They're like the Oakleys, you know. And actually, I used to have a couple of pairs of Oakleys like back in the day. They were cool sunglasses, but now they're like middle-aged, like divorced dads.
Yeah.
You know, just you know the kind of guy who wears Oakleys now. Just a classic, man. Go with Ray-Bans. I'm a Ray-Bans guy.
I mean, yeah, if you can afford them. Geez. Gooder, again, advertised with us in Kansas Nation. You can get $20 sunglasses. They look great.
It's good.
Cody says...
I've never seen you wear sunglasses.
Cody says, maybe that's because we're indoors, my man.
Okay, it's not like I've never seen you outdoors before.
Daniel Sorensen got a job as the safeties coach at Brigham Young. Do you think he'll ever join Spag's team?
God, I hope not.
Dirty Dan, you don't like him?
Okay, during his time with the Chiefs, did you like Daniel Sorensen?
I mean, he had some moments. He had some moments.
Well, good and bad.
Well, yeah.
He was a terrible safety. He was like the worst safety I've seen in a Chiefs uniform. But the dude worked his butt off, and he was a special teams icon, I think. So there's that, right? special teams like assistant. I don't know if they hire those at the NFL level. I'm assuming they do. I don't want him to be the safeties coach. I would not be cool with that.
He's only 35. So,
I know,
so
he's only 35, and maybe whatever. We'll see. Good for Daniel Sorensen. Good for Dirty Dan, man. He had a big time tackle. It was the Texans divisional round game.
Yes,
it was a fake punt
on the first Super Bowl run.
On the first Super Bowl run, it was a fake punt, and Daniel Sorensen sniffed it out. That was awesome. That was incredible. I mean, the dude, like I said, he worked his butt off, but. Maybe. I don't know. If Spags really likes the guy, sure, why not?
We don't have a lot of time, so let's just do one more from Kimberly here.
Okay.
What do you think of the Trent McDuffie trade? That just happened today.
I thought you said it was from Kimberly.
It is from Kimberly. Oh, it was from Stephanie. Oh, okay. Classic misunderstanding. Stephanie, my apologies. Can you break down the Trent McDuffie trade? Because that's breaking news right now. We're pre-recording the show, but that just happened, and it's a huge deal for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then, Dan, maybe give your thoughts on it as well. Chiefs loading up on some draft picks, but that's a really talented dude that they're shipping out west.
Yes. So the Chiefs are trading away Trent McDuffie to the Los Angeles Rams for the Rams' first-round pick for this year, which is number 29 in the NFL draft. So the Chiefs now have 2 first-round draft picks. They're also getting a 5th-round draft pick this year, a 6th-round draft pick this year, and a 3rd-round draft pick for next year. A lot of people don't like it because they love Trent McDuffie. I get that. He's an all-pro guy. He's a really good corner. But it feels to me like they're setting themselves up. This feels like a move almost setting yourself up for like 2027.
And this is according to Adam Schefter.
Yes, this is per Adam Schefter. To where, like, I think the Chiefs are understanding, like, hey, we got to build this now and get a bunch of really good second-year guys who come in. You get 2 first-round picks this year. All of a sudden, you give them all next year to develop. You get another 5th and another 6th. You can develop those guys. You can hit a home run with those guys. We've seen a lot of 5th and 6th round draft picks who have been really, really good for the Chiefs. So, I don't know, get those guys in second year, looking at 2027. I think you're rebuilding for that. I like it. I liked it when they did it with Jerry Sneed, and that certainly worked out too.
We will break that down further on tomorrow's Rock Chalk Sports, but we're going to kick it to break. When we come back, we'll hear from Bill Self at the podium after the loss last night. ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com.
KansasNation.com is presented by Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Step up your game with Game Day Men's Health Lawrence.
We have a great selection of vehicles here. What's the best fit for you?
Maybe something a little smaller. Maybe just a little bigger. Getting closer. Perfect. Come experience the chrome difference.
Together, we're elevating our potential, our pride, our traditions, and our dreams. Together, we're opening up a whole new world of possibilities. Elevate your University of Kansas experience with Jayhawk checking from Central Bank. Central Bank and KU, elevating together.
This is SSJ. Winter in Kansas City doesn't mean your lawn takes a break. It means smart homeowners get a head start. Let David and his crew from Custom Lawn and Landscape prepare your yard for a greener, healthier spring with winter fertilization, soil conditioning, and pre-emergent treatments that stop weeds before they start. Because when the snow melts, you don't want to start fixing your lawn, you want to already be winning. Trust Custom Lawn and Landscape, treating your yard now so it looks incredible later. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your winter services today.
Hello, it's Mark Whitlow from Office Products Alliance. OPA is not just your local office products connection. We have expanded our offerings to network cabling installation, security cameras, door access, and IT services. We all need to keep pace with new technologies. You can trust a Kansas City company that has been your partner for 32 years. Check us out at opakc.com. Supporting local businesses and our community is more important than ever.
Listen up, guys. Summer is coming, and there's no better time than right now to ignite your health and feel your best. Whether you're chasing peak performance, trying to reignite intimacy, or simply want to feel your best, Game Day Men's Health Lawrence is your calling. Situated in a plush man cave setting, their services for testosterone replacement therapy, ED, vitamin therapy, and weight loss are sure to give you the boost you need. Make an online appointment today by searching for Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Step up your game in 2026 with Game Day. Can't say enough about our friends over at Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Mitch Bales and his team will get you back in the game. Go give them a visit. Your first visit is completely complimentary. 3-step process, blood draw. They'll check you out. If you think you are dealing with low T, you've got low energy, struggling with weight gain, anything like that, they will help you out and get you back to feeling your best, back to the best shape of your life, and certainly help you out with any questions that you have. Spring and summer months are here, so make sure you're feeling your best. Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Give them a call or stop by. Let's hear from Bill Self at the podium after KU's loss last night.
Let's go ahead.
All right, Bill. I guess what happened to cause you to get ejected?
Well, I argued, Darren's foul when I think he gets held all the time, but I argued that, and then the first one, that's fine. I mean, I was out of the box. Second one, I was still out of the box. So I guess that's the reason why he gave it to me, because Sermons gave it to me because I was still out of the box and didn't retreat in the timely manner in which he wanted me to. But yeah, that was it. I certainly was not intentional whatsoever.
What was your perspective on, I guess, the first 13 minutes of the game that unfolded before you got kicked out?
I thought we were awful. I thought that they were good. And when a lot of times when coaches say their team was awful, it doesn't give credit to the other team being good. They were good. I mean, Job throws in 2 to from 3 to start it, banks the first one in, but we played. Once again, we didn't rebound the ball defensively the whole night. We did offensively, just didn't get anything from it. But I didn't think we played very well, and I didn't think we were, obviously as prepared to play as what I had hoped that we could have got them, and that's on the coaches.
Bill, I think Darren's been kind of struggling shooting-wise. Is there anything you're seeing out there that maybe he's making him struggle so much?
I think if if he continues to work at it full speed, he'll make shots. The thing about it is when you work and practice, it's got to be at a game speed and game tempo, and sometimes we as a group, in my opinion, when I say we have to practice, I'm not talking about just be out there and be together. I'm talking about when we're all on the same page and doing things at the speed that you have to do it at when real guys are trying to stop you and guard you. And he'll missing shots. That doesn't bother me. I'm telling him to shoot. It's my fault. I'm telling him to shoot it. But I do think from a standpoint of what would happen if of the 8 really great looks he got, you come away making 3. What happens on they said on TV at one time we were 5 of 17 on layups. What happens if you're able to finish around the rim? Of course, Jop had a lot to do with that. I mean, he's a presence in there. And we didn't play as big, because you can say Darren, but it was the whole team. It was a whole team.
You mentioned the layup stat. You guys end up with 25 offensive rebounds, but only 6 second chance points.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard because usually off of offensive rebounds, defenses are in scramble mode, and I know we are, and we didn't take advantage of that whatsoever.
And Bill, just kind of looking at the offense as a whole, I think you guys haven't been quite as sharp.
Yeah, we haven't been any good at all.
Compared to like that 8-game winning streak. What's the difference when you look at it and you see how good you guys were in that 8-game winning streak?
I still think the ball needs to have energy. I still think there's too much. We're going to labor offensively. If you just take our individual pieces, we can labor offensively unless we actually play really well together. I mean, Trey needs to be able to make stationary threes off other people's plays. Flory needs to be able to get an angle on guys and go around them. You know, that didn't happen at all in the first half. And obviously Melvin needs to be able to get paint touches and play behind that. There's some things that I don't think that we individually play to our strengths near as well as what we were playing to, a month ago. I really believe that. But even playing bad offense, what did you shoot, 29% tonight?
Yeah.
They shot 32.
Yeah.
Even with bad offense, there's still an opportunity for us to win if we could just get key stops, and we didn't do that.
What was your perspective on, I guess, just watching the remainder of the game, seeing the guys come back but not be able to close it out?
I actually thought we tried. I was able to watch it on computer in the locker room, and I thought we tried. But whenever you put yourself in that big a hole, your mistakes are magnified a lot more than what they are if you're playing within striking range all the time. And so we did a lot of good things. What did we do? Cut it to 2?
Yeah, cut it to 2.
And then we missed the front end. The Flory had that layup. There were some things that happened that just not on them, but there were some things that happened, and then the law percentages prevailed, and I think not. I couldn't be mistaken, but I think we should have a defensive rebound down 3. And it ends up being a foul, and then they make a 3 on a side out or whatever. Those are big plays. And what were we, down 2 when Johnson goes on a 5-0 run himself? I mean, so we're flat-footed defending the perimeter there. I think there was opportunities for us to actually put ourselves in a real position to have a chance to win, and we just didn't make enough plays. But I thought our effort was pretty good the second half.
Go ahead, Trace. I know obviously you weren't there at that point, but Jock got a technical a little bit after you left. Do you know what that was about?
No.
About
Jock's a relatively mild-mannered guy. But I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but I think it was a situation in which we all could have handled some situations better, but it was a pretty temperamental crew tonight.
How do you think the guys will handle this adversity? A couple losses in a row on a trip like this?
Well, I don't think, the couple of losses, Arizona's terrific. But, we had that to 2 with 12 left and didn't close. I don't look at that one quite the same way as I look at this one. But the bottom line is it's late. It's early March. The way that we should look at it as, it's a game. It didn't cost us a league championship. It didn't cost us this. Now it costs us seeding. It'll cost us at least a seed line in the NCAA tournament, and certainly, could cost us seeding in the Big 12 or whatever. But everything is still in front of us to play for. So, and I hope that's how we look at it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
That's Bill Self at the podium post-game. KU back at it Saturday at 1, senior day against K-State. And we'll have coverage of that, of course, the next couple days as we try to pick up the pieces from what went wrong last night in Tempe. After this, though, talking KU basketball, we're going to hear from KU baseball, rather. We're going to hear from head coach Dan Fitzgerald and a couple KU baseball players as they kick off their home season tomorrow against St. Thomas. Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City, and KansasNation.com. Listen up, guys. Summer is coming, and there's no better time than right now to ignite your health and feel your best. Whether you're chasing peak performance, trying to reignite intimacy, or simply want to feel your best, Game Day Men's Health Lawrence is your calling. Situated in a plush man cave setting, their services for testosterone replacement therapy, ED, vitamin therapy, and weight loss are sure to give you the boost you need. Make an online appointment today by searching for Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Step up your game in 2026 with Game Day.
We have a great selection of vehicles here. What's the best fit for you?
Maybe something a little smaller. Maybe just a little bigger. Getting closer. Perfect. Come experience the Chrome difference.
Haney and the Hawks is presented by Jefferson's with 2 Lawrence locations. Home of the best wings in town, 21 signature sauces. You got to check them out. But if wings aren't your thing, how about a burger? They hand patty their certified Angus beef every single day. Also hand bread their tenders. They make their ranch in-house. There is truly something for everybody at Jefferson's. Go see my buddy Brandon Graham and the entire crew at Jefferson's, either on Mass or Wakarusa in Lawrence, Kansas.
Together, we're elevating our potential, our pride, our traditions, and our dreams. Together, we're opening up a whole new world of possibilities. Elevate your University of Kansas experience with Jayhawk checking from Central Bank. Central Bank and KU, elevating together.
Hi there, Gary Joslin with Joslin's Jewelry. I'm not the class ring company. I'm a mom and pop jewelry store for 42 years. We were recently voted the gold medal #1 jewelry store in the greater Kansas City area by Ingram's Magazine. Come see us at Joslin's Jewelry, 9529 Antioch. Joslin's Jewelry, the jeweler you'll recommend to your friends and family.
Joslin's Jewelry for the best that's yet to come.
Welcome back to Rock Chalk Sports. Springtime is here. Man, I remember playing catch with my dad outside. Spring weather
and
growing
how was
up.
your lawn when you were playing
That's
catch?
what it's all about. We didn't have custom lawn, but certainly we do now at Kansas Nation.
We do now. So no more playing catch in the dirt with your pops, because if you want a thick, green, healthy lawn this spring, the work starts now. We are in a prime time for Custom Lawn and Landscape to treat, protect, and prepare your yard before the growing season hits. The winter service spots are filling up fast, so now's the time to lock in your treatments for their spring lawn program. Book online today at customlawn.com. Custom Lawn and Landscape. Your best lawn starts here at customlawn.com.
Hey, let's go to the Diamond. Kansas baseball. We heard from Jordan Bach a little bit earlier today, the newcomer who hit a leadoff homer this season for the Jayhawks, also leads the team in walks. Couple long balls for Bach. Here he is earlier today.
Jordan, just overall, how do you feel like the first road trip of the season went?
Obviously we're happy with winning. We got a winning record. Obviously we can improve a little bit. You always can. So I'm just looking to improve on some of our mistakes and just keep on winning.
What do you think the mistakes are that you can improve on?
Yeah, just situational hitting. A little bit of defense stuff needs to be cleaned up, and some of the bats are going to get going. So just little things here and there.
You obviously hit the 2 leadoff home runs. Is there anything different that you do when you go into your approach to start the game compared to maybe your other at-bats?
No, nothing particular. No. Sometimes I like pitchers like to get ahead early in the game, just try to get a strike. So to be a little more aggressive then, and knowing that you're probably going to get one to hit. But other than that, it's pretty much the same.
I think you lead the team in walks. Coach Fitz preaches winning the plate. Just how important has that been to your success so far?
Yeah, Fitz does a great job of telling us to box it up and win the strike zone. So just trying to execute the plan there, and been fortunate enough to go my way.
First series at Hoagland, just what are the emotions right now? How excited are you for this?
Yeah, I'm super pumped. The boys here are all pumped for sure. So can't wait to get in front of the fans, and I've heard so many great things about them. So I can't wait to get back out here.
What if, you talked about it a little bit there, but what if maybe the guys told you about just how fun it was here last year?
Oh yeah, they described it. They said it's electric. The environment is crazy. The fans get going, and they said it's the best place to play. So yeah.
From an identity standpoint, I guess offensively, what do you guys feel like fans should know about your method of attack on the offensive side?
Yeah, we're gonna win the strike zone. We try to hit the ball. We try to drive the ball. So, doubles and home runs, walks, all that stuff. But we're just gonna go in there and compete and try to win the strike zone.
What was that series kind of like up in Minnesota? You guys won the first game on Wednesday, day off, dropped a couple, but then salvaged it Sunday. Just kind of take us through the ups and downs of that series.
Yeah, obviously would have liked to win all of them, obviously, but they got a good program there, and I always say good teams find a way to win on Sunday. So for us to come in and split the series, that was really big and just kind of shows our resilience. So obviously a lot to be desired, but we're happy to get out of there with a couple wins for sure.
What have you seen from the pitchers as well? Dom has had a great season here, and then last season he didn't quite do what he wanted to. Little up and down so far, but he's the Friday guy, and then got a lot of new faces as well who have come through in the bullpen.
Yeah, the guys have been fantastic. The pitchers have been great. You know, I'm not worried about Dom. We all believe in Dom. He's going to be great moving forward. You know, Matisse has been great. Madden's been great on Sunday. The bullpen's been fantastic. You know, we're gonna pick them up on the offensive side here, but they've been great for us, and hopefully they keep doing their thing moving forward.
We heard a lot about kind of in the off season about how there's a lot of new guys on the squad, but they're all kind of bonding together. Now that you're in games, I mean, do you kind of feel that? Do you feel yourselves even getting even closer? I mean, just talk about the team chemistry that you guys got right now.
Yeah, we got a great group of guys. You know, I love everybody here on this team. You know, I feel like we're close. You know, the offense is, we're all tight. We love the pitchers. So, yeah, it's been good. And, you know, obviously by April, May, we'll be like brothers, but, you know, we still are. So it's, you know, it's fun to kind of see how you get closer as the season, you know, moves on. So it's been good. Team chemistry is good. Yeah.
You've had experiences at a couple of different schools. Just how valuable has that been as you know, transition to another new place?
Yeah, you know, I'm grateful for all the lessons I learned from those old schools, and you know, I got nothing but good things to say about them. But you know, just taking those lessons and trying not to make the same mistakes twice has been
anything in specific that you take to, you know, when you get to a new place, either the things you want to do or something that you've learned that you're applying to this year?
That's a good question. I would say just sort of, you know, trying to stay positive and you know, not let the ups and downs affect you too much. Try to stay a little more mellow. You know, when times are good, staying a little more mellow, and when times are bad, you know, sticking with it and staying through it. That's probably the biggest lesson that I've tried to apply to this year.
What was most attractive about KU for you?
There's a couple of things. You know, you look at the coaching staff and their record, how they turned this program around. That was a big one for sure. The environment, I've heard it was amazing, and just, you know, that, you know, they got a, you know, the program is trending in the right direction towards winning. So being a part of a culture like that and being able to build was definitely the most attractive thing to me.
And what else do people need to know about your game offensively? Like Sam said, you lead the team in walks, a little bit of pop as well that we've seen early. What else do you bring to the table?
You know, I always like to say that I come out here and compete every day. I'm going to give 100% no matter what. But, you know, just fight to get on first base and see what happens from there. But, yeah, just, you know, I like to tell everyone I'm just going to give you guys my best every day.
Anything else for Jordan?
That's Jordan Bach, and as I said to him, I think he's going to be a fan favorite. We'll hear Dan Fitzgerald speak on Jordan Bach. Just a ball player. Looks like a ball player, gives off that vibe.
Yeah.
And has had a good start to his Kansas career here as the Jayhawks get ready to host St. Thomas tomorrow, first of 4. All right, let's hear from another newcomer, Bodie Ray, who's a part of a really strong KU bullpen, very versatile. Here's Bodie earlier today.
Bodie, just same thing. How do you feel about the way the first road trip went?
I think it's been going really well. I'd say there's different things we need to clean up, definitely. That's why it's March and February. You don't ask to play your perfect baseball early in the season. So we got a couple things to clean up, but honestly, I've been super happy with, especially pitching side, how we've been performing on that end.
You guys have really pieced together what's been a pretty good back end of the bullpen. Just what impresses you about some of the other guys that have come in and shut down some games?
It's just been awesome to see guys competing and performing to the level that we know they're capable of. There's some guys who came in and with very high potential and very high ceiling rates, I guess, and they've been really living up to everything that we knew that they could. So it's been great to see that from a team perspective.
Seeing a guy like Madden come in as a true freshman and win a spot in the weekend rotation, just what's been impressive about him?
Being at past schools, you see the freshmen kind of need to step into roles to help grow, and you don't really see them coming in and taking a starting role to the point that he is, and he's really progressed over the fall. He came in and we had a lot of questions with him, just strength wise, and he's really competed and worked his butt off to earn the role, and I'm super excited to see what he has for the future in front of him as well.
You've had experiences both starting games and coming out of the bullpen. Is there anything you take different mentality-wise when you're coming out of the bullpen compared to starting?
It's definitely a change of mindset. You're not used to knowing when you're going to go out there, so it's being focused at all times during the game. So just staying locked in at all times and being ready to go is the biggest thing I picked up. So yeah, just a change. It's a change of mindset, but at the end of the day, the competition side doesn't really change. You're still competing at all times. So
what are the conversations like with you and the coaches about, you know, your role? Sometimes 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning, you never know what's going to happen. What's that been like in terms of communication with the coaches on what to expect?
Yeah, the coaches are always communicating often with me. It changes, varies game to game. I'm always ready for whatever lineup matchup that they have in front of me. So it's just staying ready. At the end of the day, I know that I'm going to be somewhere in the back end. But when you have guys like myself, Toby, and Deere that you can throw out in any inning for any matchup, it's just staying ready at all times. You know, your whole job is to go out there and get 3 outs as quick as you can. So that's the only thing that I'm focused on whenever I get the call.
Jordan was talking about coming to KU, you know, the coaching staff, the culture here. Yeah. I assume those were attractive things to you as well, choosing to come here?
Yeah, for sure. The numbers and the statistics don't lie. The coaches have made a huge turnaround here at Kansas, and it's been an honor to be here and to help grow. So just continuing to build off what the players of the past have done here is something that we do. And honestly, the culture that they've developed here at Hoagland is crazy. The fans are really playing into it, and it's been awesome to see the environment that they've developed here at Kansas.
And your excitement to see those fans front and center this weekend?
How could you not be? It's going from a junior college where you get maybe 50 people at a game. It's a different environment, and it's very exciting, to say the least.
For you a guy, especially coming out of the bullpen, that really feeds off a crowd like that, hyping you up?
Oh, no doubt. I'm an adrenaline junkie. If you've seen some of the videos from the past few weekends, I'm always feeding off the energy of the crowd. So we're going to need them to get loud this weekend.
Bullpens generally have a lot of guys with personality. What can you tell us about some of the individuals there, and I don't know, maybe funniest guy or some stories from early in the season?
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of personality and character in the bullpen. I'd say my favorite is Aiden Klein. And just to put in perspective the type of character he is, the guy has to juggle before he goes out on the mound. So we definitely have some guys. Deere's something else. So yeah, once you get around the team and once you start hanging out with them enough, you start to realize the type of guys we got.
Are you a superstition guy?
A little bit. There's different things that I definitely have to do. I'm weird. Like I have to shave. I have to eat a certain meal before every single game. It's different things, but at the end of the day, I feel like every single pitcher has a little bit of a superstition.
What's the meal?
Chicken Alfredo every single time.
Oh, wow. That's heavy.
We chef up. We eat good at my house.
Would you have chicken Alfredo even if you were starting that game?
Oh, no doubt.
Okay.
No doubt.
Didn't know how heavy that sits.
No, I have to. That meal was developed in junior college, and that's when I was starting. So
yeah,
just got to keep it going.
Fair enough.
A lot of the guys have talked about, you know, building shared chemistry through experiences at JUCO and things like that. Just how have you seen that play out, and how close have you been able to get with some of these guys?
Yeah, looking at the type of guys we have here, it's honestly crazy how well we mesh, coming from all these different backgrounds. There's not many people that are from the same area of America, to be honest, and some of them aren't even from this country. So it's crazy to see how, as a team, we've developed such a great team culture, and I honestly think we mesh super well off the field. We're all really close, and we all hang out all the time. So that's going to be the biggest driving factor for our team this year. We're going to be close in all aspects of the game, no matter what the outcome is.
Anything else for Bodie?
Thanks. That's KU pitcher Bodie Ray. Now let's hear from the head man, Dan Fitzgerald, looking to continue the success that he's had first couple years in Lawrence. KU off to a 7-4 start. They host St. Thomas tomorrow.
You were able to accomplish over this first road trip?
A lot of good stuff and a lot of stuff we need to improve on. So I think it was revealing about where we're at and kind of our next steps. I think our energy, effort, attitude, preparation was all great. I thought we had glimpses with the bullpen that show we can really match up. Certainly depth in our starting pitching. We've scored runs despite not we haven't done it in bunches, which is obviously what we're going to need to do that in order to be really successful. But a really tough schedule. Every team that we've played has won, which was the whole point of that trip, and very strategic in scheduling all the teams that we played so far. So accomplished a lot, put ourselves in a good position to go into final week before conference opens up. So it's been good, a lot to improve on, but a lot to like.
Part of what made last year so special is the sort of environment you guys were able to build here at home. Just how excited are you to see that again this year?
No, we need a bat. It's so fun being back home. It feels like it's been a month since we've slept in our own bed. So it's the energy in this place was palpable last year, and truly a home field advantage like one I've never been a part of. And I think the guys are excited. I think there's been a buzz already, and we had some students out of practice yesterday. I think we're scouting out seats and where they're going to put their sign, and I know we've got places that are getting ready for the pregame festivities, so it'll be great. But yeah, our guys can't wait, and I can't wait either. There's nothing like playing at home.
Jordan seems like he's just going to be a fan favorite. I mean, just a ball player. What do you love about him and everything he brings to the table?
Yeah, on the baseball side, he's on base all the time. He's hit so consistently. If we could lead off every season with the leadoff home run, I'd take it. He's on base a ton. He's done a great job in the outfield. He's played a lot of baseball, so he brings a veteran presence to it. He's calm. He doesn't get sped up. He's off the field. He's awesome dude, kind, great teammate, super likable. So yeah, you're gonna love watching him play in person.
And then for any fans who don't know, before the home opener, some other new pieces. Obviously, you guys returned Brady and Dariel, but other new pieces on the offensive side that you expect big things from.
Yeah, offensively, Augie Mungariad has done a great job behind the plate. He's swinging it well. Dylan Schlotterback has played well. Tyson LeBlanc, so third base and shortstop have been really good. The outfield, we've split some time. Brady's been in left and at first base, which has also opened up some time for Tyson Owens, who's played really well and should be a mainstay in our lineup. He had a couple home runs up at Minnesota, really nice left-handed bat. Cade Baldridge has been really steady. I'd say Jordan and Cade have been the two that have been kind of the steadiest from day one. So Cade's done a great job in center field, and then on the pitching side, outside of Dom, and Cannon and Manning have thrown in relief, but outside of those two, it's all new. And the matchups that we've been able to do in the bullpen have been great because we've got a ton of versatility out there with some new guys.
With Madden coming in as a freshman, earning that weekend spot, what have you seen out of him so far, and how impressed are you, I guess, by a freshman being able to do that?
Yeah, a ton of poise. He's got a lot of poise, and he's pitched really well. He works really fast, which it has a surprising effect on a baseball game. I think sometimes you think of baseball. The pitch clock's been a great addition to our sport because it keeps things clipping along, but even with that pitch clock, pitchers can get into a real slow deal where they're pitching it at 1 second every time, and if you don't look up quick enough, Madden's going to deliver another pitch. And so I think his ability to get into rhythm and let the defenders play behind him and stay in a good rhythm has been great. But the big thing is he's got good rhythm, he's got good poise, but he's got great stuff. And so mature physically, mature mentally, mature emotionally, he's been great.
And obviously a lot of turnover. I mean, you're not new to this. You've had to deal with it in the past. But maybe what are some similarities between this year's team compared to last year's team, whether that be offensively in the pitching staff, whatever that may be? What are some similarities that you might see out of these guys, whether team chemistry, whatever it may be?
Yeah, I think the team chemistry is probably a big one. They're fun. They love competing. Our bus is not quiet. Our hotels are not quiet. Our dugout's not quiet. They have a ton of fun, but they're serious about their work. We had big personalities last year, and I don't know that we have as many big personalities as we did a year ago, but it's more of a collective team personality. And then it's been fun watching, Brady and Dariel and Dom and Cannon and Manning and Max, seeing some of those guys take on more of a leadership role and kind of instigate some of that stuff. And but yeah, the similarities would be they love competing, they love celebrating wins, and there's just an overall belief in that, the game's never over.
Seems like back end of the bullpen, you guys have good versatility with Bodie and Deere and Scheidt. What have you seen from them, and what do you like about that trio in particular?
Yeah, I like, you think about the different looks. I think part of the bullpen is can you get different looks at a lineup multiple times through, and you think about Toby Scheidt versus Bodie Ray. I mean, those are about as polar opposite as you can get, with Scheidt being down the side and Bodie being super vertical. And then, Fink is way more like Scheidt, kind of from the side, and Deere, of course, left-handed, but it's power stuff left-handed. And so, yeah, it's versatile. They're good athletes. And, I think when you're managing a bullpen, the dream is always that you can just match up at the end and go 1-1-1-1. And sometimes it happens like that. 2 years ago, we had kind of 7th, 8th, 9th, where we were very particular in that. I think it's versus last year, it was, when are we going to give Breckheimer the ball? And so now I think the big Swiss Army knife in that is Ryan Ritter, because Ritter is, and I've always thought you have to have one of your top 3 and 2 of your top 5 in the bullpen. And starting, everyone wants to start, and there's a certain, I don't know, certain thing that I guess guys love, starting a game, whatever. The outs at the end of the game are oftentimes harder to get. So I think our ability to match up will be the strength of our pitching staff. And then you throw in Dom and Matisse, who should eat a ton of innings. They didn't last week, and they both had less than phenomenal starts. But if those two eat innings on Friday and Saturday, we should be able to match up real well.
You've said before you're never worried about Dom, but where are you maybe looking for him to get back on track or maybe back into form?
Yeah, Dom is one of the top pitchers in the. If you took everyone's first inning and went across the board, Dom's one of the top pitchers in the country over the past 3 years in the first inning. Like, it is electric, and in his great starts, you think of how many times he went 7-8 innings last year. He was able to really maintain that, and on the times when Dom kind of stumbles, it's because his stuff will tick down for an inning, and then he'll get it back. And so I think for him, and I told him yesterday, I said, hey, man, if you just keep the foot on the gas the whole time, you're going to find that your innings are going to be really efficient, and you're going to throw 100 innings, versus if you go out there and try to conserve it, which I think at times he had to last year, because he had to, I think last year it was, man, I better run with this thing because we got Breckheimer in the back. And now it's like, well, if Dom and Matisse gave us 6 innings every start for the rest of the year, it'd be amazing. So I think the message to Dom, and what hopefully we'll see on Friday night, is he just goes pedal down the whole time.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, guys.
That's Dan Fitzgerald as KU baseball embarks on a 4-game home series against St. Thomas beginning tomorrow at 3. One of those games will be over in KCK. Game picks here, Dan, tonight, 5 in the top 25, including one Big 12 game. Number 20, Arkansas hosting Texas Hogs, right around that 5 line in the NCAA tournament. They're minus 6.5, over under 164.5.
Man, the public loves them at the 6.5. I think I do too. I do think I like the over 164.5. That feels high, and I think that both of these guys can really score.
Number 22, Miami, Florida, not Miami of Ohio, is at SMU in a classic ACC matchup. SMU is minus 1.5 at home, over under 159.5.
I think SMU takes this one, and I'm going to push the point away, and I'm going to take a money line.
There you go. All right, sounds good. That way you won't have disaster breathing down your neck if they end up winning by one. Yeah, there you go. Number 25, St. Louis hosting Loyola Chicago. Billikens are minus 22.5. Bad season for Loyola. Over under 154.5.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, bad season for them. 22.5 is such a big line, though. I almost want to take them, but I'm not going to, because St. Louis, their coach is trying to get another job. He's going to put the he's going to put the gas on for the rest of the season.
Purdue, number 15 in the country, another team that if you're Kansas, you probably want them to lose. KU hasn't been taking care of their own business, which has been a problem. But Boilers are minus 11.5 at Northwestern, over under 145.5.
I think Northwestern covers this. I think this is going to be a single-digit game. They're not going to win, but they're going to give them a run for their money. I don't think a lot of scoring is going to happen in this game. Give me the under 145.5.
And last one, number 7, Houston hosting Baylor. Houston is minus 14.5, over under 142.5. It's their senior day.
Man, what has happened to Baylor? I mean, just how the mighty have fallen. I think Baylor does wind up covering this game, though. 14.5 is way too big of a line. So give me Baylor in this one. I think that this has 10 to 12 points written all over it as a victory for Houston.
Jayhawk fans probably cheering for Baylor in this one because Houston, of course, on the 2 line right now in the Big 12 tournament. Kansas right now probably on the 4 line NCAA tournament. They're right now the 4 in the Big 12 tournament, and we'll see what happens on Saturday. Of course, if Houston loses tonight, then everything we've been assuming will go out the window. But a couple more games to play this week before Saturday closes out the regular season. KU K-State Saturday at 1. Coverage starts at 11:30. That'll do it for Rock Chalk Sports. Big thanks to Elijah Schmidt running the operations. For Dan Courtwright, Sean Kellerman saying we'll see you tomorrow from 4 to 6. ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com.
What's up, everybody? Dan Peterson. Everybody go check out KansasNation.com.
We have a great selection of vehicles here. What's the best fit for you?
Maybe something a little smaller. Maybe just a little bigger. Getting closer. Perfect. Come experience the Chrome difference.
Hey there, I'm Mick Schaefer.
I'm Greg Gurley.
And this is Between Two Fountains. It's not an original name for a podcast, but it's our name, Greg.
Love it. A lot of time and effort went into that name, and that's all we got.
As far as you know. Hey, we're going to talk about our 2 favorite topics, Kansas City area sports and nonsense. That about covers it, right?
I'll handle the nonsense.
Yeah. We'll have the best guests as well and the worst jokes. Come around every single week on Between Two Fountains.
Hi there, Gary Joslin with Joslin's Jewelry. I'm not the class ring company. I'm a mom and pop jewelry store for 42 years. We were recently voted the gold medal #1 jewelry store in the greater Kansas City area by Ingram's Magazine. Come see us at Joslin's Jewelry, 9529 Antioch. Joslin's Jewelry, the jeweler you'll recommend to your friends and family.
Joslin's Jewelry for the best that's yet to come.
This is SSJ. Winter in Kansas City doesn't mean your lawn takes a break. It means smart homeowners get a head start. Let David and his crew from Custom Lawn and Landscape prepare your yard for a greener, healthier spring with winter fertilization, soil conditioning, and pre-emergent treatments that stop weeds before they start. Because when the snow melts, you don't want to start fixing your lawn. You want to already be winning. Trust Custom Lawn and Landscape, treating your yard now so it looks incredible later. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your winter service.